I go, I don't know how to address this. And as he's saying this, another bellman comes up and goes, Bert, man, love to see you, brother. And I was like, thank you. And I go, I got woken up by a security guard yelling at me today. And the guy leans in and he goes, man, we thought you were dead. I go, what? And he goes, word got out in the hotel that you had died in our hotel. You're from Tampa. You're like Tampa's hometown boy. And you died in our hotel. Everyone thought you were dead. And then another security guard comes up and goes, it's so good to see you, man. And I'm like, oh, everyone thought I was dead. No one, and I called my mom, and my mom said, the best line I've ever heard, honey, no one gets to feel like Jesus on Easter.
Hey, something's burning, something's burning, something's burning.
The Permission to Party World Tour kicks off September 18th in Rockford, Illinois, the 19th in Milwaukee, the 20th in St. Paul, Minnesota, the 21st in Duluth, Minnesota, followed by Eugene, Oregon, September 28th. Avoid scalpers and go to BertBertBert.com to get your lowest ticket price. Can you guess what we're making?
Some kind of wonton soup or something.
No.
No?
No, it's ginger.
This is a soup.
Oh. It's your recipe.
As if he knows his own recipes.
He's
got so many, there's no way he's gonna know.
43,000 recipes.
Here's some ramen.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah, she's gonna love it either way. It's probably creative for her.
Cheeseburger ramen.
Oh, nice.
Cheeseburger ramen. It's like the sexiest thing.
Oh wait, I can't.
No.
Okay,
I got you.
Okay.
And so for you, we're gonna make a different sauce for you.
Okay.
I got you.
Thank you.
Are you lactose intolerant?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it
It's an Asian thing.
Yeah.
I think it's an Asian thing.
I said that in my on stage the other night because I had this Vietnamese kid for the day, and I was showing him America.
Yeah.
That sounds weird when I say it. But like his name's Kevin. He goes to the University of the London School of Economics now, and. I told him to dip a French fry into a Frosty, and he was like, nah. And I was like, no. He's like, I like French fries, but I don't know about that. And then he did it at Wendy's, and he was like, I don't want to go back to Vietnam.
Yeah.
It was so great. But did you? Can I tell you the coolest?
Yeah.
Right. We're gonna talk to you, but I'm obsessed right now.
I know you're obsessed. I see that. That's why I married him, because you're obsessed.
This worked out great. Yeah.
This worked out perfect.
Yeah.
I took my buddy Tom Segura, who's trashed wrestling.
Why?
Because he's an elitist. He never liked himself. I think that's ultimately it. I think he never liked himself.
Did you turn him after Monday?
He lost his mind.
Yeah.
There's a video of him watching wrestling at its best, when done well. Now look, you know those first two matches that come out of the gate.
Yeah.
Everyone's still learning. Everyone's learning. Once you get like high-end professional wrestlers, everyone over at WWE, you. I've seen so many of your matches. This morning on the treadmill, I watched 9 of your matches.
Okay. Oh God.
And I watched.
Yeah.
Because now I know the pacing of a match, and so I'm just going, all right, let's finish it. And it's as good as any sports competition you ever see.
I always tell Robert, or I tell anyone, even if you don't like wrestling, if you're not a wrestling fan, and you just watch it live, it's a spectacle. You'll never be bored. You'll never be bored.
I wish I send someone on a phone. It's either at Poor Osos or on my page or on, it's gotta be on my page. There's a video of Tom watching them go over the broadcast booth in front of us. And Tom, who's trashed wrestling, is holding my arm like, oh, it's so, I get chill bumps talking about it.
I don't think people realize how hard it is. Because, for example, when I worked for WWE, we did these celebrity guest hosts every week. And our first guest host was, what's his name from Entourage? Jeremy Piven. And he's an actor, right? You would think he'd be natural at this. He came out and he blew the promo. Like he made a mistake in the name of the pay-per-view. And I was like, oh, you know what? And he came back and he said, this is really hard. And I said, okay, I'm glad some people have some respect for pro wrestling now. Like, it's nice to hear.
Oh, it makes sense why politics is kind of following pro wrestling. Because you get into it and you're like, and there's a tetherment. Yeet, yeet, yeet. It's so interesting. And then here's the ultimate, like as a fanboy, yesterday I took my parents to lunch we're in Channel Side. And we sit down and Ric Flair comes over and he's like, Bert. And my dad's like, who the hell is this? I go, it's Ric Flair. My dad's like, what? And then Ric Flair paid my bill.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he paid my bill.
Oh, good for you, Rick.
And
this is why I'm here, to filter Robert. Stop.
So wait, did you guys met at a WWE event?
Yes.
Yeah, I was doing my show, Dinner Impossible, with WWE at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And every 15 minutes, they brought in a wrestler guy, right?
Yeah.
Or girl.
Well, it was no girl.
Yes,
It was all wrestler
yes,
guys. And we had to go shopping in Miz.
Dude,
The
shout out
Miz.
to The Miz.
The
Yeah.
Miz.
That guy called his shot a long time ago.
Yeah.
He said what he wanted, he put it out there,
Yeah.
and he did it. I am so impressed by that
Yeah.
guy.
He is honestly one of the hardest working guys I've ever come across. Him and John Cena, hardest
Really?
working guys. Yep,
So
definitely.
Miz was
100%.
messing around in a mobility device in a store.
Grocery store, yeah.
A grocery store.
Yeah.
And he got off and wanted to race me. Well, I raced him and pulled a hamstring.
Are you serious?
Yeah, during the show. So we get back, and we're doing the food, and he's just pissing around the whole time. And they're trying to bring Gail in. She's wearing this purple short dress. It was kind of hot. And, that's an understatement. And I'm like, no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for her. She can come in a minute. And that was it. She came in. I was like, oh, let me put this apron on you.
And it was over from that point on, pretty much.
It's kind of cool. You guys do have fitnesses. I think that's cool that
Yeah.
you guys do have fitness in common.
Yeah.
And you were like an old school meathead.
Yep.
Like you had old young pictures of
What do you mean
Robert.
old school?
You're
You're my age.
Yeah, I'm an old school meathead too.
All right, okay, let's get that right.
The best is
Yeah.
I saw a young picture of you with your daughters when they were like probably 4 and 6, and you are dark hair, yoked,
Jack, yeah.
jacked. I mean, like you look like the Hulk.
I'm getting back there. 60 years old, you lose a little bit of that. You don't
Not
lift as
60
heavy
yet.
anymore.
Almost.
But you don't lift as heavy anymore. And when I met Gail, she's this superstar wrestling girl, and I'm like, oh, I gotta impress this one.
He did change his
gotta
diet
impress
to
her.
impress me. Yeah. So the first meal we had was at a New York diner, and he ordered first. So it was like sausage and eggs and over fried and really bad, all the butter. And I was like chicken breasts and sliced tomatoes, dry toast. And
By the
then,
way, she had 4 times the meal I had at that 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
so he was trying to impress me for the first couple of weeks, and he
that
went on
didn't
a
work
clean
well.
diet. No, you did. You got lean. You got lean. Yeah.
But in the restaurant industry, you kind of like it's hard to stay on a diet because you got to try everything.
You eat, you drink, you work late, you drink more, you go home, you get up early, you drink more, you work. It's a never-ending story.
Yeah, I'm always impressed by it. I'm dying to know. I watched you on an interview one time talk about someone was asking you about starting. I think it was my buddy over at Mythical Kitchen, and they're asking you about starting a restaurant. And you're like, you need $2 million.
Yeah.
You need some. I don't give you shit money
Yeah.
to throw away.
Yeah.
And and then you go at the end of it. My advice is don't open a restaurant.
If you want to open a restaurant, just be ready to lose $2 million, and your marriage, and your kids, and because
it's a lot. It's a
bad
lot of
business.
responsibility.
Yeah,
Great because you're cooking, like what you're trying now.
I'm trying.
And I do like that you did the little grate with good job.
Thank you very much. Well, initially this was going to be the ginger, and I was like, I don't think people like biting into ginger.
No, bad scene. So I'm going to watch your knife skills now.
Oh, they're horrible because.
I know. I just watched. You took the end off both ends. You don't. You only keep take
Why?
the end off one end, not both.
Why?
You know, I've had so much anxiety about this episode.
You know why? Because this end,
Why?
this end keeps all the onion together. So you can cut it in half, but keep the end on it.
But if I'm using the whole onion,
You won't be able to use all of it. I can show you next time. Jeez.
wait, give me another onion.
All right.
Show me now.
Because you have to literally
Yeah.
peel it, cut the...
No.
Listen. This says...
You think people tuned into?
Something's
They want to
done.
see this. So you take this,
Right,
You cut
take
off
the
this
end off, right, put it on its end. Yeah, now cut through the middle like you just did. Okay. Right, now peel it, but keep the end on it.
Okay.
And the reason you do that is because if I'm going to dice the onion one way and then the other way, you can use a whole onion. And if you get worried, I'll show you. But
So wait, and then here's my
then
question.
just peel it off, yeah.
Peel it off.
Yeah.
And then
And are you going to slice or are you going to dice?
do I put this onion in the meat, right? Slice. I'm supposed to slice.
All right, so slice it. That's
Do I put
easy.
it in the ground beef?
Yeah, in the pot.
In the pot, in the
You
pan.
saute the onions first,
Yeah.
otherwise we're gonna have raw onion.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be like a whole.
is
You're
gonna
gonna
be-
nitpick to death.
All right,
All right.
no, go. Let's see
Yeah,
this.
let's just enjoy.
Well,
it.
now, there's a thing I know about chefs is they love this shit, but I don't really care.
No.
Very nice.
I try to go. I'm getting nervous.
Don't be nervous.
I feel like
Don't
I'm
be
losing my virginity on a porn set.
Just don't cut your fingers.
To be fair, I loved cooking when we met. I cooked for all my friends and everything, and then I was nervous to cook for Robert the first time. It was very nerve-wracking.
Oh yeah. Well,
I felt like it wasn't good enough.
I mean, it's got to be terrifying. I got to be honest with you. You're right. That made that so much easier.
But if you're dicing that, and you go this way, then this way, and then this way, you can literally use the whole onion.
Really?
See all that's left there?
Yeah.
Then you put it flat, and then you just cut around it.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Jesus.
Novel
Maybe
idea.
we should do this with more chefs. I mean, I've never had this little onion left. That is incredible.
Yeah, and you just chop it. I'm gonna.
What does she want to do? What do you want to drink?
Oh, I'll drink. If we're having
Tequila.
tequila, we're having tequila.
Well, we're just waiting on Peter.
Yeah.
I'm just like.
I just heard.
When do you start
ice.
drinking? I'm just worried about
What?
drinking. Loose lips.
Oh, don't worry. By the way, you have final edit of this show. Anything that you don't want in doesn't go in.
We do a lot of NASCAR. And Kurt's a friend of mine. His brother's a friend
Yeah.
of mine. We did a USO tour together. He was hilarious.
Dude, those NASCAR drive. I went to NASCAR the day before WWE. I'm going into like a redneck renaissance. I'm doing all the fun shit I would have loved as a kid.
I saw that episode, and Kyle Busch was like, "We're not like wrestling. We're not predetermined." I was like, "Well, we're entertaining though."
I can't believe that people would think NASCAR is predetermined.
There's no way. 200 miles an hour, going around an oval with the bumper and butt sticking together. No way is that the predetermined. Nor is Formula One. Whoever thinks that must be like wackos.
I'm always blown away that Formula One gets princes and princesses and dignitaries, and NASCAR is like mechanics and like dudes who like paramedics, firefighters, like all the kind of working class.
Well, Formula One's more the king of sports, right? Like
Yeah.
racehorse.
Yeah.
And NASCAR, even though it should be.
I mean, NASCAR
it's,
is like a wrestling crowd.
Oh, there you go.
100%. Oh.
As a real quick, I want to stay on this, but as a chef, do you know your measurements when I go, how many ounces are in a? No. Okay, I never do too.
Okay.
8 ounces in a cup. Is 8 ounces? This is a cup of cheese.
It's a cup of cheese.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's
Seems
not gonna
like
hurt
so
you.
much more.
Cheese doesn't hurt you, only her.
Only her.
Yeah.
She won't eat cheese, but I love cheese.
Yeah, I love cheese. I'm looking for the grater. The thing I love about this recipe is I love ramen, but this is like accessible ramen for my wife's dad. The origins of this podcast were a dream. The idea that this would be a business was a legit pipe dream. And today, I have employees, I have a studio, I have a business partner, I make money. You are listening to it right now. Here's the deal. Starting a business is a dream a lot of us share, but many of us let it remain just a dream. Don't hold yourself back thinking, what if I don't have the skills? What if I can't do it alone? What if, why not? Here's the deal. Turn those what ifs into a why not with Shopify by your side. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started like my own. What if I can't design a website? Shopify's got you covered. They get you going with beautiful, ready-to-go templates to match your brand's style. What if I need a hand? Get help with everyday tasks like enhancing product images, writing product descriptions, or generating discount codes with Shopify's AI tools created for commerce. And what if I get stuck, Bert? Shopify is always around to share advice with their award-winning 24/7 customer service support. Let me tell you something right now. I am so glad I didn't let all those what ifs get in my way. And I just did. And they did get in my way. For a very long time, I tried to start a podcast, and it was Tom Segura and Joey Diaz that came to my house, hit record and said, just go. Just go. And I look at it and I'm so grateful. I have a business I'm so proud of, and you should be just as proud. Turn your dreams into cha-ching and give them the best shot at success with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/burning. Go to shopify.com/burning, shopify.com/burning. Have you tried everything under the sun for peace of mind? Sounds like it's time for you to try Cornbread Hemp's CBD gummies. They are right here. These are the other kind that are really awesome as well. Cornbread Hemp's CBD gummies are made to help you feel better, whether it's stress, discomfort, or you just need a little relaxation. They only use the best part of the hemp plant, the flower, for the purest and most potent CBD, formulated to help relieve discomfort, stress, and sleeplessness. These babies work. All products are third-party lab tested, and Bert Kreischer and Leanne Kreischer tested, and USDA organic to ensure safety and purity. Dude, these things are great. I'm telling you right now, they taste awesome, and they are great if you're just looking for a little switch up. If you're like, you know what, I'm looking for a healthy night. I want to get a good night's sleep. I want to recover. I want to add years to my longevity right now. This is what I'm using. That's the way I'm thinking, and they are awesome. They also have a balm that is phenomenal if you're like me and your back hurts when you sleep. Right now, Something's Burning listeners can save 30% on their first order. Just head to cornbreadhemp.com/burning and use code burning at checkout. That's cornbreadhemp.com/burning and use code burning. Can you get the listener from like the beginning of you? Yeah. I want to know the whole story. I mean, I know you're Canadian, which is like, it kind of filled in a lot of blanks about wrestling for me. Okay. In a weird way, it did.
A lot of great wrestlers from Canada.
Some of the best.
Yes.
Some of the best.
100%.
And I was like, wait, and then I go, oh, she's from Canada. Okay, that makes sense. But British child.
Yep. Still am.
I want to know everything. I want to give me the.
So my mum and dad were married somewhere around the age of 6. They decided to get divorced. My dad lived in a car outside my house, and every time I walked to school, he would drive alongside me and talk to me. That was the only way he let her talk to me.
Oh my God.
Army guy, bit of an alcoholic. That's an understatement. We left Durrington, which is a small hamlet in England, and moved to Salisbury, Wiltshire, where is the cathedral, King Charles. Yeah. He's the patron saint of the cathedral. I joined the Sea Cadets at 11 years old, which is like ROTC here, right? Yeah. Kind of thing. It's pretty good at, doing uniforms and listening and taking orders and giving orders and that kind of thing. I was a bit of a reprobate because...
What's that word mean?
What? I don't know if anybody knows.
All right, I was a bit of a loose cannon.
Okay.
Because I hated school except woodwork, sports, and home economics.
Woodwork, home improvement, and cooking are such kissing cousins.
Well, here's the thing. I was the only guy with 30 girls in a home economics class. I thought I'd get a girlfriend. I made quiche Lorraine. I didn't get a girlfriend. I got into quiche Lorraine. My dad hated it because... I liked cooking, and it was a girlish thing to do in his world because he was a soldier. Number one, don't ever do this at home because you end up taking your arms, your wrists, you may not.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about joining the military in England. Yeah. Where did that go? Did you see where that went?
So one day, my mother would go to work. She worked at a store that did paint and paper, wallpaper. Yeah. And she would go to work. I would stand there waving in a shirt and tie. And when she went to work, I went double back and drank my dad's beer with a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
At 11 years old.
Jeez.
But
that's a normal age over
British
there, right?
Culture, yeah.
So one day...
It's like killing a moose at 12.
One day she calls the house, and I, like an idiot, after a couple of beers, answered the phone. And it was the demise of Robert Irvine at 15 and a half years old, recruitment office, joined the Navy. Maths test was 1 out of 5, 5 being the lowest, 1 being the highest. Same with English. I got 5.5. I went, I'm not that stupid. He said, well, I've got good news for you, Sonny. You're in the Majesty's Royal Navy and you're going to be a cook. And I'm like, well, that's awesome because I like cooking.
Yeah.
And that's how I started in the Navy. But my first job after basic training was at a place called Royal Naval Air Station called Rose in Cornwall. It was basically an egg.
Como, Italy?
No, in Cornwall.
Cornwall.
Oh,
End of. You drop
I
off.
sometimes have
Thank
to
you.
translate
Yeah.
for him.
What are you trying to say? I can't speak English?
Always.
As you two.
Bottle of water.
As
is
you two,
what
you
I
don't
always
speak
have to
English.
translate.
So, my boss gave me, see what you're doing there?
Yeah.
He gave me a pan like that, but it was a plug-in wok. The year the T-file wok came out. I've never seen a wok, and my boss said to me, here's a book, read it, prep the food, and go and sit on a table and you'll cook people's food. And I said, okay. So I chopped some onions, bamboo shoots, water chestnuts, all that kind of stuff. Soy sauce, sambal, all that. And the first couple of guys came up and said, what are you making? I said, I have no idea. No idea. I'm just reading this book. But I was a skinny little kid with a white T-shirt on and a little cook's cap. I can show you a picture. But anyway, the second guy came up and he was in a flight suit with lots of gold. And I'm like, what does that mean? Who's this guy? He came back and his accent, he said, what are you cooking? And I said, sir, I have no idea. He said, well, give me a little bit. So he came back every day for 4 weeks and asked me for the same stuff I cooked the day before, but I couldn't remember.
Really?
The second day I wrote it down because I knew he was going to come back the third day. But I didn't realize who that was. It was the Prince of Wales. He was learning to fly a helicopter. Prince Charles.
jeez. Yeah, it's interesting because our generation,
Cheers.
like, cheers.
Yeah,
Hey,
cheers.
cheers. Thank you guys for doing
Cheers.
this. It was so
Of course.
nice running into you at the Super
Yeah.
Bowl and then going, we should do something together. And I went,
Yeah.
oh my God, are you being serious? I was like, in a heartbeat.
It worked out.
Oh, that's good. It's very good.
That is good.
Ooh, that's really good.
So I like the way you caramelize the onions. Good job.
Thank
nice
you.
job, yeah.
I've made the sauce that just sits there. The meat's gonna go into the sauce. I'm gonna do half the meat in the sauce and then half the meat in your sauce.
Okay.
So that we're gonna,
That does
so
look
that,
good.
and this is yours.
Okay.
This is, there's some grapeseed oil, some chili sauce.
Oh.
Grapeseed oil. Why grapeseed oil?
Why do we like grapeseed
flavor.
oil?
So here's the thing, all you people listening. Grapeseed oil reaches 450 degrees, has no flavor, so it does not get absorbed into the food. Where if you use olive oil at 325 to 350 degrees, all that will taste of is bitter, peppery aftertaste. So using grapes that have no flavor, higher smoke point, and it doesn't get absorbed into food. So if
Really?
you wanted to make a dressing, you couldn't use olive oil unless you wanted a peppery taste. Where you use grapeseed oil, you'll have no taste except whatever you put in, fruit, mustard, whatever. It's way better for you. And by the way, if you really wanted to, have a facial routine,
Yeah.
Facial routine?
yeah.
Well,
I don't mean what you were talking about with your wife either, because I watched.
You won't let me do that?
Because I watched that.
Oh, Lord.
Where you take some salt, you put it into a bowl, add some grapeseed oil, just microdermabrasion. It saves you about 300
Oh,
bucks.
Lord. Don't listen
Seriously.
to him. No, don't.
Don't use sea salt because you'll have no.
Just
face.
regular salt?
Just regular salt.
I'm doing that tonight in the sauna.
And let me tell you, you'll be calling me saying, "Hey, Robert, you're a god."
I had,
No, you don't even do that yourself. Don't lie.
I talk about it. Cleaning carpet, the salt cleans carpet. It gives you a facial and it seasons. And you can take that anywhere you want to go.
I'm doing that to my whole body. Tonight, I'm gonna.
Can I help you do it?
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool.
I get into the sauna. I have a buddy that goes, you know what you got to do in the sauna? I said, what's that? He goes, best thing in the sauna, cover yourself in olive oil. And I was like, really? He was like, yeah.
Bit kinky.
Well, Robert, I'm not going to lie to you. I was very turned on the entire time in the sauna. I was like, what is this? This guy's got to be jerking off every night in the sauna. Jeremy Gold. He works for Blumhouse. Anyway.
What does that do?
I don't know. It makes you sweat
Moisturize.
more, he says, and moisturizes.
okay.
It keeps you, I didn't really notice
You
the
don't need to do
difference.
No, I did that in the Ascension Islands on a warship on the way to the
Yeah.
Falklands. My boss said to me, "Hey, there's only 2 bottles of olive oil left. Take one and rub it all over and lay on the deck."
Oh
Well,
my
I did.
God.
Well, I
Yeah.
did. I'm not kidding. I did. A gray warship, sun and olive oil. Don't go. I was as red as that sign for 3 or 4 days. I couldn't move. I was a joke, and it hurt.
My roommate in college, Jen Antonucci, fell asleep in a tanning bed
Oh, God.
and came out purple. Purple. I mean, she was in so much pain. She would have to lay naked in her bed with nothing. And she was like, don't come in. And we were like, we want to check your burns.
Oh, Lord.
Jen Antonucci.
Same thing, living on a warship. But I had to get up and go and cook in a galley, put a t-shirt on and pants, and it was a nightmare.
Now, how did you have any aspirations to get into television, or was it kind of an accident?
No. I was in Atlantic City. I used to run Trump's casinos, food and beverage. And one day a local guy, local station said, will you do this segment? I did a segment for like 5 minutes. And I kind of enjoyed it. It was good. Throw shit in a pan and get it done. Then I get a call, which is kind of interesting, from Suzanne Roberts. I don't know if you know who she is. No. The Roberts family owns Comcast NBC. So she said, hey, will you come and do my show, Seeking Solutions with Suzanne?
Seeking Solutions with Suzanne.
It played on CNA. It was a local thing, and then it played again on CNN.
Yeah.
I said, yeah. Well, I didn't know who she was. Well, she's Brian Roberts' mom. She's 93 now, something like that.
Brian Roberts' mom?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So I did this one show with her. We got together, we liked each other. I ended up going to the house, which is in the middle of nowhere. And we're going to do this show on pizza on a grill. And I said, well, where's the grill? Now they've got this multi-billion-dollar land, houses and horses. And this grill was from 1940. I mean, it didn't work. We had to fake it, cook it inside, run outside, lift the lid up, and it was hilarious. And they're, the Roberts family do very well. They've got some cash. I said, buy a new grill. But that's how I started in TV. Then I wrote Dinner Impossible, which is based on a year of my life with the military. We did about 200 episodes of that.
Dang it.
With Mark Summers.
Mark Summers.
Yeah.
And this
is a legend in
Yes,
television.
he is.
He is like a legend to all of us. Because for those who don't know, I worked with adjacent companies. Travel Channel was connected somehow.
Oh, you worked for Travel Channel?
For like 9 years.
Oh, wow.
And then did not do quite as many episodes as he did. But, and Mark Summers is like the gangster. He's like, and he's the sweetest guy in the world.
Yeah.
Did you ever see him fight Burt Reynolds?
No.
Oh, yes.
Wait,
that was
what?
legendary. Well,
A real fight?
threw water in his face.
Oh.
Burt Reynolds punched him with a pie.
Yeah.
It was
God.
crazy.
Yeah.
Was that on a talk show?
Yeah, it was on Carson.
Okay.
was on
Then I
Carson.
have seen it.
Yeah.
I have seen it, yeah.
Yeah, Burt Reynolds, he cut his tie.
Yes.
Yeah, he cut his tie. Oh man, it was legendary. And Burt Reynolds is a hero to me because I grew up in Florida, and that was like, he was like our guy. He bought uniforms for Florida State. Like he was our guy.
Yeah.
But then you realize he was a little bit of a
You went to FSU. My daughter went to
UCF.
Yeah.
Yeah, UCF. You raised very regular kids. Like I'm really envious that you have kids that are just.
They're so smart.
My one daughter, Tyler, just graduated a year ahead, takes the bar in February, criminal lawyer. She held down a
Rutgers
full-time
Law.
job
Yeah.
of being a public defender.
Yeah.
Went to school at night to get
24
this.
years old.
Yeah, 24 years old, criminal lawyer, like Thursday. I paid my last
Really?
payment, by the way. Yay to me.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Does this go in here? Or does this go in here?
Here. And
Here?
then the bok choy too.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta talk
yeah.
bok
That
choy.
goes in here and then
Bok choy goes in here too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then salt and pepper in both. But this
I thought you knew this.
No, but I get distracted. This is why the show is good, because I end up listening.
I know, because
I never
you don't-
listen.
I know. By the way, it's okay. You can. Oh no, because you don't eat cheese.
Yeah.
Good man. Look at you being all special.
Yep. The bok choy is such a interesting. It's like a middle ground between cabbage and celery and it's not. It never like. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I love bok choy.
Yeah.
It's the only vegetable like. Really.
Do you have a knife sponsor?
No, you like.
No, we have our own knife. I'm going to send you some.
Please.
Yeah, 'cause,
You'd think.
I'm going to send you some liquor. I'm going to send you some knives, some cookware.
I switch up knives. Where do you cut bok choy to? Do you cut it
Yeah,
all the way up?
all the way up to the.
And then-
I don't use the leafy top quarter.
Well, that's because you don't like the
Yeah,
leafy
I don't like
part.
the leaf, but.
Even when I make a salad for him at home, I have to separate the lettuce because I like the leafy part. and
Like
then
this
I'll-
part,
Yeah.
garbage. And then here's the other question. Do you drain ground beef?
No, I like the fat.
Yes,
Yeah, I like
me
the
too.
fat.
I don't understand. People are like, "Oh, drain the." I'm like, drain it. You gotta
Plus,
get
that fat's going to go into the bok choy, and it's going to give a lot more flavor.
Yeah.
So here's one skill I'm going to tell you that costs you zero, but it cut me a lot of fingers. Next time, take a cloth, wet it, put it on your cutting board, and your cutting board won't move.
Oh,
Just a little technique, save your fingers.
I actually,
Don't be afraid to wet it.
Can I ask, like, when you fully wet it?
Yeah, wet it. Yeah.
Wet it.
Yeah. Don't be afraid. You like wetness.
How much, when you were doing Restaurant Impossible, how much of it? Because I know television production.
Yeah.
But how much of it was like?
Real?
Not real, but like you actually go in like, I want everyone to go in there and make a veal piccata. And then you go, and the reason I'm doing this is consistency. I want to make sure that if you serve veal piccata, that you're going to get the same veal piccata every, like.
Now push that down. Now try and move that. Yeah, it won't move.
Doesn't move at all. Oh,
Yeah,
so
that's
great.
true.
Number one, Restaurant Impossible is real. So I chose early on in the years when I was kind of what I call angry Robert. I walked in there, didn't listen to people.
Yeah, by the
didn't
way,
have shit.
in 22 episodes, your personality changed.
Yeah.
And your hair. And you're like,
I told him to stop dyeing it. I said, come on.
oh, you were dying it back then?
Yes.
I was 30 years old and gray. So yeah, she's the one that said stop
I was like,
dyeing it.
you guys look good when they're...
But it's real. So
Yeah.
they would go in day one, which is 3 days. So a day before I got there, they would set up the tents and do the B-roll and all that kind of stuff. Then they wouldn't tell me anything because I didn't want it to be fake.
Yeah.
So I walk in, and the early days, which you just said, I would just go in there and say, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And change it.
Yeah.
It was really not about people. It was about the place and making money. And I found that a lot of them were failing because they didn't spend time with me understanding what the business is.
Yeah.
So that's where you see a change. We started to listen. What was the original concept? What was your mindset? Why did you do this? How much money? P&Ls can tell me anything in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And I found out all that kind of stuff. And that's when the show changed. I mean, we're in 170 countries.
170 countries.
170 countries, 1 billion viewers, and I would have this dubbed in Japanese, English, because I don't speak English anymore. But it was crazy. I went to Honduras to do a special operations dinner on the 4th of July, and we get out the airport, and there's one TV in the street watching Restaurant Impossible, a bunch of guys and AK-47s around it. It was unbelievable. Mark Summers was with me. I took him for 4th of July to feed him. He said, why are these young kids having AK-47s? I said, don't worry, I'll sell you shoes. If you kill you, I'll sell you shoes.
What was great about it is there were like prototype stereotypes of people in the restaurant business, the defiant person,
Yes.
the you're not going to change us person. There were real parts where we're getting rid of this restaurant, and people are like, yeah, we've had this restaurant for like 50 years. You can't just take these pictures down. You can't and you're watching them and you're like, yeah, I don't really give a shit. It's not working. Yeah. That's the crazy part. Is the best part about that show is they couldn't deny it's not working the way you're doing it.
Change.
Yeah, it's like weight loss. I go, like when I'm gaining weight back, but when I was losing all the weight, the first thing I noticed was like, I seem to feel bloated after bread and pasta.
Yeah.
I can't help but feel bloated after bread and pasta. And then I was like, well, maybe if I just try not doing that. Like maybe if I really try a radical change. And that's the thing that made the difference.
I'll say there was a certain time period on day 2, right? Because it was a 2-day shoot.
Yeah.
That they always kind of came around and realized Robert's there to help them.
Yeah, I mean, look, what you see is, and you know this, 44 minutes of TV, but it's 48 hours of real footage, 6 cameras.
Is that how quick you turn that around?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's real time from the minute I walk in till 6 o'clock the next day. And I try to spend as much time as I can with them to really teach them the business. Mm-hmm. And look, I'd have people that's telling me they were raped, they were mentally abused, they were physically abused, the wife cheated on them. Yeah, get it in there, just throw it in there.
So to be able to handle that.
Yeah, I'll be able to. But you can never see that on TV because we don't do that. But I remember one girl coming up to me and saying she was in her late 50s. She cheated on her husband, but she was still with him. And she cheated on him because he couldn't, do the business. And I said, well, there are little blue pills and there are things for
God.
that.
Yeah.
So I become a doctor, and I literally called the local doctor and said, you need to talk to these people. They're still together, by the way. Our largest deficit in a restaurant was 1.1 million. They now do 3.4 million. Cerritos, California.
Really? Do you keep up with all the people?
I keep up with a few of them, not all of them anymore, because it's too many.
There's so many, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Please don't break my heart right now. Your fitness bars.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have a thumbprint on that? Or is that
I
what
do
they-
yeah. I created it.
Awesome.
We got to send you do you try the wafers?
We have them. We have them. Dude,
when you go on tour next, when you go on
keto,
tour, I'm going to bunch your shit.
when I went keto, that was like your protein bar was the only thing I could eat. And it is like a cheat. I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not even doing the right thing.
So I was working out yesterday. I did an hour on the cardio, 15. I've got a big 56-mile march with the 1,200 coalition wounded in Scotland in a week. So I'm getting up this, because there's 2,000 to 7,000 hills.
Yeah.
And I'm on 15 for an hour, and I'm starting to shake. And I see Gail, I'm like, I got to find something to eat. So she go out and buy me a Fit Crunch bar.
I did.
A Fit Crunch bar.
Are you serious?
And a kind
A
bar.
wafer, too. It was very good.
They are so good.
Yeah, we can send you some.
How many? Is your mom still alive?
Yeah.
Yes.
She's 82 years, almost 83 years old.
How does she have a hard time registering what your life is?
She loves it. She
loved it.
follows
My dad didn't.
everything
Yeah.
on Facebook. He was very proud of
At
you.
the end of it, yeah.
Yeah. But I would say your mom, she follows everything on Facebook. She gets upset when fans make negative comments on Facebook.
And I like-
And she'll be like, that guy. I said, ignore it. Just
Yeah.
ignore it.
My
Very
mom's,
protective.
Yeah.
my mom's like, people leave negative comments? And I was like, I go, wait, you don't read the comments? She's like, wait, where do they leave them? And I was like, never mind, Mom. Do not worry about it. Don't look at anything I've ever done.
Yeah. Like, who cares? As long as we're having fun, I don't give
Wrestling
a shit.
fans are the worst, though. I'll tell you. Yeah.
I'm dying. I know Tom did a
But I love
deep
the
dive.
wrestling fans. Don't get me wrong. They're very loyal and hardcore, but they are tough. They're very tough.
I remember doing something. She asked me to do something, and I'm not very good with TNA.
Yeah.
I was going to be fighting. Who were you fighting? Somebody? I wasn't fighting you, but you
You
were
were doing
fighting.
a promo. Yeah.
And it was Scott Steiner. This
Yeah.
guy is
Fuck
like
yeah.
his arms are like you.
Yeah,
period.
yeah, I know.
So
him.
he's in my face doing this to me, and I'm like,
Did he?
Yeah,
Oh, I don't
and I got
remember this.
right up into him because I started getting all emotional, like it was real.
Yeah.
Because you said it a minute ago. You
Robert
get so
becomes a heel right away.
you go
no
get
baby face.
tied in.
Pure
I was
heel.
in his face. I'm like,
Yeah.
and he was pushing me, and then he called me for his restaurant. He's like, "Can you help me fix my restaurant?"
Yes, he
You're
did.
like,
He did.
Hang on, man. I still have beef with you. I got to be honest with you. I think Seth Rollins really doesn't like me.
Why?
I know
Why?
because me and Tom walked in on him dressing. I'm drooling. I'm getting nervous. There's two guys that actually. I don't even know the right way to say this, but they won't with me.
Okay.
And every time they wrestle, they stare at me and they're like, "Take your shirt off now, fat boy." And I'm always like, "I thought we were cool." And so-
That means they like you. That
Okay.
means they like you.
Oh,
It's
there
the
you go.
opposite.
That's
they wouldn't even acknowledge you if they didn't like you.
all right. You heard New
That's
Day.
what I think.
That
anyways.
clicking.
Yeah.
You got something
something's
clicking over there.
I don't know. It's
It's the gas.
I don't,
It's just the igniter. It's the igniter. So what is the biggest thing? You like wrestling, obviously.
I like wrestling.
You love food.
I love food. Comedy is my thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm obsessed. Like I could talk about comedy the way you could talk about
Yeah.
wrestling or food.
Yeah.
I hear people talk about stuff like that, and they're so knowledgeable.
We got to get you to do something for our foundation.
Please.
For the troops.
You name it.
Yeah.
Oh, they love it. They
name
love
it.
They love you.
That's how we met Jeffrey Ross.
did
we
Jeffrey
did a year
Ross.
so tour with him.
Jeff's the best.
Oh, crazy.
I've known Jeff forever.
We were in Afghanistan, and
Oh, and Eliza too.
Oh,
We
I
did-
just
we
had
were-
Eliza.
I just watched your.
Did you?
Yeah.
Her husband's a chef.
Yeah,
Yes,
great,
yes.
great people. I did a tour with her, and we became great friends. And she's amazing.
She is awesome. I love her to death. I always get like talking about hate online. When she gets hate online, it's so funny. 4 minutes. Salt and oil not needed.
Yeah, you know this.
All right. But I always like whenever she got hate online, I'm always like, hey guys, you know that you would fall in love with her if she talked to you.
Yeah,
Like, and I know you say you wouldn't, but you
No,
would.
she's so fun. She's awesome.
She is little sister funny. Like that's what she is little sister funny. Like
She was
Best.
teaching
and Mark
Miz.
Summers is so funny.
On the USO tour, she was teaching Miz how to do comedy.
Yeah.
And he went and
The
he tried
punchlines
to
and
do
how
a little
to do it, and yeah.
I bet the
stand-up.
Miz could do comedy.
He
no joke.
could. He's good at everything. He's so good at everything.
The Miz is probably the most successful person out of that Road Rules Real World
100%.
universe.
Yeah.
Do
I mean, that's
you know what it is, babe?
Yeah, the real world. Yeah. But I think the
Always
funny
have to
thing
ask
is
Robert, he
when we
doesn't
were
know.
when we were with Ross, we were in 8 inches of rain and mud, and Ross's nephew or whatever it was.
His cousin, I think. Eddie.
And we were in
Yeah.
in a really shitty area of Afghanistan. We took over the airport, not Bagram and Kabul, but deep inside.
Yeah.
And we'd just taken it back. So the kids were living in conduit pipes with cots. And we show up there for Christmas with the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, and we'd made the food in sous vide, and then we're just going to boil it and serve Christmas dinner.
How
It was,
great is
it was
Yes.
unbelievable. Then they end up wrestling in this. All the guys wanted to wrestle with Gail, and he ended up wrestling with her in the mud. It was hilarious.
I did the figure 4 on
So
him.
that brings a whole new.
That'd be really awkward to be sitting on the side. Hey, I got your wife next. No, just hold me. Just hold me. Okay, yeah.
It brings a whole new thing to mud wrestling.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. We fed him, and Gail entertained him, and yeah, it was
No,
pretty
you
cool.
entertain him.
It was pretty cool. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
This is, I hope to God you are a redneck mom who cooks for your family and you're watching this recipe. This is, don't tell them it's ramen. Tell them it's spaghetti,
Yeah.
okay? And don't tell them that just tell them
16
mac
pound
and
of cheese.
cheese cheeseburger. It's a mac and cheese, it's Asian mac and cheese cheeseburgers. Asian hamburger helper.
Yeah. By the way, it's really good.
I'm
It really
so
is
excited.
good.
I'm hungry.
Have you ever
so-
tried it?
No,
This is your first time?
yeah, this is my first time.
You're a virgin on this. This
Yes.
is great.
And I'm hoping I did it right.
This is great.
this
I love the way
looks
you're doing
awesome.
that, by the way.
What's that?
That's good. Well, because a lot of people don't cook bok choy, and you've got the fat. So you see
Yeah.
the glistening on that? That's the
yeah.
fat of the meat coming out. People don't leave that long enough.
I'm a little OCD on cooking.
Yeah.
Like I tell you, my biggest mistake I made today already is I wish that I had taken I poured the cream first and then poured the other thing in the cream bowl so I got all the cream. Because I want all the cream. Like there's certain things I want all of. Now what I'm gonna do, here's what I'm gonna do. And you tell me if I'm doing this right or wrong. I will incorporate 2/3 of this meat into here, and then I'm gonna do 1/3 of the meat into there. And then I'm gonna put noodles into there, and into there, and then I'm gonna plate it.
So the only thing I would do differently
Yeah, please.
is because you don't know how much sauce is in there, right?
I kinda don't.
Right? So I would put a separate bowl like this. I'd put half in the bowl, then I would add this to this just to get the right consistency because liquid is never the same twice. In other words, it evaporates.
I'm gonna need
I
you to
didn't
start that
follow.
over.
Yeah, I
Okay,
didn't
okay.
follow that either.
So you take a bowl.
Yeah.
You take half of your ground beef in the bowl, then you add the liquid to the ground
to it.
beef.
Oh,
Okay.
to the ground beef.
Yeah.
Instead of
Okay.
the ground beef to the liquid. Because cheese melts differently and liquid evaporates differently.
Okay, so what I do, I'm gonna take
Science.
this, and throw half the meat in here.
Totally.
And then take this and pour this into the meat.
Yes. That sounds
exactly.
right. Yeah.
See? Who said comedians were smart? I think you're really smart.
This is,
I think we can do a roadshow. I've got this.
buddy, I'm doing South Beach food.
You are?
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dude.
Well, you've done live ones where you take questions and you're like this, huh? What? Huh? What?
But I do Ocean's Calling, and I have Jason Biggs hosts it, right? And he's the funniest guy on the planet.
Jason
even though
Biggs.
he's not a comedian, he's an actor,
No,
right?
he
But
could be a
he's-
comedian.
Yeah.
He's funny, and the one-liners he pulls out when guys and girls come up on stage, it makes me cry every year.
He is brilliant. I love him. And he's such a good guy. So during the pandemic, everyone's looking for work and, no one's busy, no one's doing anything. And me and Tom were doing these live shows. Me and Tom Segura were doing these live shows. And in the live shows, we would create one thing. So we both wrote porns for ourselves and we're gonna do table reads. So I called Jason Biggs. I was like, hey man, can you do a table read on Zoom for our live show? And he goes, yeah, sure. And I was like, cool. So I send the script to him, not realizing it's a porn. I just should have run it by him. So he gets it, and then we get on the Zoom to do it, and he goes, hey man, I'm a little confused. Is this pornography? And I go, yeah. And he goes, I'm like a stage actor. I go, I know you're gonna kill it. And he goes, no, I meant I'm a stage actor. I don't do porn. And I go, oh, we're not shooting it. It's just the read. And he goes, okay. And he did. He still did it. But it was like Jason Biggs doing porn was hysterical.
He is funny.
He is really. Have you met his wife?
Yes.
I would argue his
did?
wife
Yeah.
is equally as funny, and Jason Biggs would tell you the same.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
So hungry.
Should be good.
Oh God. It was a close call.
Got it?
Yeah. We gotta fry eggs. Now, it's interesting you said your method of frying eggs was pretty fascinating to me. Grapeseed oil,
Yeah.
Yes.
a little splash of grapeseed oil,
Yep.
and then you said get it to medium, cook for 2 minutes, and then drop to low.
Yep.
Cook for 3 minutes, cook through, and you're done.
See, a lot of people turn the heat up so fast, you crack the egg, the white on the outside burns, and then it doesn't cook the rest. I do the perfect eggs. Even though I say it myself. But.
Okay. So, while I get the eggs,
Bobby who?
I get
Oh.
the eggs ready. What?
Nothing,
so-
nothing.
Nothing. It's Bobby Flay. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
You know, anytime you could have used a smaller spoon. But just saying.
I don't know why I did this freaking spoon. All right.
There you go.
And then we will take this. That is
Hot.
blistering hot.
Yeah.
We'll lower, we're gonna turn this off. We're gonna bring this into here and slowly pour in the sauce.
Robert's grabbing
What's this? What are you doing? What are you doing? You're already making me nervous.
Oh, okay. He's helping you.
Is this to stir?
Yeah.
That is so
And then you got to let that reduce a little bit, right?
Okay.
So turn the heat on, let it reduce a little bit because the cheese will actually go into everything.
On high?
Yeah.
Still hot. It has not gotten cooler.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna pour a little more.
Yep.
You think?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah. Just let that bubble and bowl and trouble.
And then this looks
That looks
phenomenal.
amazing.
This is yours.
That looks so good.
This looks really good.
You can have some too. I'll share.
And then the beauty about ramen, okay, so now we got the eggs ready. By the way, this is like my biggest anxiety inducing
Good.
thing.
Just turn that heat down on there just a tad.
On this.
Yeah. There you go. Beautiful. Okay, whenever you do that, see how you just go down a little low into the pan. So if you drop it, it's not going to break.
Do other people tell you how to cook?
I love this.
Yeah. Okay.
Beautiful. That's
We
it.
should have a
Beautiful.
three.
See?
I just burned my hand on the oil. I got too low. I'll do 3 eggs as being fine, right? We got 3. Yeah.
Then a little salt and pepper on each of those eggs. Because you got to layer the flavor. You got to
Yes,
layer flavor.
for sure.
I mean, you're doing great. It's amazing.
This is
You watch that. When that evaporates shortly, that's going to be like first time you ever had sex.
it's gonna be fast. I'm gonna do it, miss her. It's bad. My first time was not good.
Robert's was in a cemetery.
Wow. I've heard of
It's a little
that.
TMI, babe.
Oh, okay, Mr. TMI.
Yeah. Oh, see, now you got that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Salt.
Salt, a little pinch of salt on there. Yeah, whatever you got.
But your kids might be watching this, so maybe we should.
My
they're
kids
grown
will
adults,
definitely be
it's okay.
watching it. But
Can I
See-
tell you what I started doing? What's the matter?
see how that simmers beautifully there?
Yeah. This looks like authentic. This looks good.
That's perfect simmer.
That's perfect simmer.
Yeah, that is just perfect. It'll just do its thing whenever you're ready.
Yeah. And I got my ramen to dip in. I'll put that right there. Just dripped water in there. Can I tell you the cool thing about what I've changed about my eggs usage? I used to do eggs over easy, and now what I do is I let them just cook through. And I really,
With a runny egg, just a little bit of a runny
I don't
egg.
mind a little runny, and I don't mind. It's kind of nice when you like just let it go, and then you drop it to low, right?
Yeah. You drop it low now when it starts spinning. Just drop it low, let it do its thing.
Oh, hey, yeah. Should we do another drink?
I'm okay.
I'll do one.
I'll do one.
Okay.
Please. Oh. Drinking with an English person, you never feel like you have a problem.
Correct.
They always just make you
Correct.
feel like we're just gonna have a pint.
So on my birthday, we had a tequila station. I think I drank.
Wait, on your birthday or anniversary?
Anniversary, sorry,
We had
anniversary.
an open bar of 1942.
Okay, no, nice.
And
Every corner of the bar
we drank
was
a lot of
1942,
tequila
and if you
shots.
came to me, you had to have a shot.
Yeah.
Really?
So we just finished a cruise on Norwegian Gem, and it was a culinary cruise, and that's something you should do. A 6-man cruise for you.
I've done it. I've done it.
Kimchi.
We did this thing.
What's it's a recipe? It goes noodles, kimchi, fried eggs.
We did this thing, and I said, there's 2 things you don't do in the opening statement. Don't interrupt my workout, and don't, if you see me, you always bring a tequila. Well,
Lord,
it was
yeah.
3,000 people bringing tequila.
Yeah. I love
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take ramen, and I'm gonna put it inside the sauce.
Yep. There you go.
Oops, sorry. And I'm gonna do as much. See, there we go. Oh, that looks good. Okay, and then. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's sexy. That's sexy.
Oh my god, that
And
looks
with
sexy.
kimchi on top of it.
Yeah.
And then
That's
we do,
when he plates it.
Then we do
And the egg.
whoa, the ramen in here.
Yep.
Oh my god.
This would be like the best meal you'll ever have in your life. A, because you cooked it, but B, because it's really good. It's simple.
I'm just glad that you got Robert to eat ramen because he won't normally. You wouldn't.
I would eat
normally,
this
but you'll eat it
because
if
it's-
someone makes it. For
Yeah,
you.
absolutely. See, that's...
Oh my god, this
That looks
looks
so good.
phenomenal. I hope it tastes good.
I'm going to tell you it tastes good.
Why no? Well,
I'm
Before
not
he
worried.
eats it, he's
I'm
gonna
not
say
even
that.
worried about that.
You know what? You know what? Robert just appreciates. Robert just appreciates when someone cooks for him. Like I can have a bad day and not cook a good meal, but he's so appreciative that I just cook for him. It's a gesture.
She's a great
Yeah.
cook.
it's
But we run a program in our foundation called Breaking Bread with Heroes. So somewhere around the world, twice a week, 300 to 3,000 people, we cook. Right?
really.
Every week. And when you cook a home-cooked meal, and I said when we were in Afghanistan, Iraq, and Poland, and Spain, and I just came from the North Pole with the
Just came
Marines.
from the North Pole?
Yeah, literally with the Marines.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Anytime you want to go
What's the
to
North Pole like?
freezing. I shouldn't say
Wait,
that.
The North Pole? Is
Yeah,
that-
Tromso
Okay.
with the Marines. That's where I was 4 weeks ago. 5 foot of snow, -5 degrees, and these guys are doing their stuff. We made them a hot meal.
Really?
And just the fact that you took time to A, travel there, number one, but B, make a meal. And it could be like Afghanistan. It could be a piece of chicken, a hot dog. It doesn't matter what it is. The fact that you're there to do it changes lives.
Yeah.
It does. And food is the international language of hope and love. And it's something to give somebody something you've cooked with, right? Because it's a feeling. And that's what chefs
I
do
know.
really well. No, you're good.
No, what I was gonna do. Well, let me do this one. Whoa. Whoa. And then what I was gonna do is grab a little extra meat. Right? I'm not plating this perfectly. A little extra meat, and then what I was gonna do is do a little sauce, a little extra sauce.
Oh, there you go. And that's all the good stuff. That's all the good stuff right now.
Oh my God. And then I think our eggs. So then kimchi.
Seafood, yeah.
Kimchi. This will be us. And then put some kimchi.
My mouth is watering.
It's such a simple dish, but the flavors, when you layer it through, when you eat through like you're supposed to, and the creaminess and the fattiness of the egg, and the spiciness of the kimchi, not too spicy, and the creaminess of the cheese and whatnot, really goes. It's a great thing. Little green onion on top.
The eggs are perfect.
See, look at that. Look at that egg. Look at that egg.
So good.
Perfect.
Dude, that is like...
It's a great egg.
That is a textbook egg.
And then
Are you getting that? That's a textbook egg.
Camera right up there.
That is a
Onion.
textbook egg.
oh my God. I am like bubbling right now.
That looks great.
I'm not kidding. That is a beautiful looking plate of food. All right. This is a moment. So Number one, you got to pull the yolk.
Yeah.
So, where's my camera guy? Look at this. Look at the yolk. Look at the yolk. Look at the yolk.
So good. I know.
Oh my God.
So good.
All right, here we go. Seasoning on the egg is perfect.
So good.
Spice from the kimchi is amazing.
I didn't eat breakfast for this, so it was good.
So
We're all
listen,
just porking out.
so listen, if this comedian thing doesn't work out,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
always call me because I can use a good chef.
Holy cow. I think I'm quiet.
And most people,
I know,
most
we're, like,
people,
so
most
hungry.
people will give you bullshit answers.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It is good.
I'm not kidding. It's really good. I would tell you if I didn't think it was good, even as a your podcast.
Oh, it's so good.
I've seen you a lot. I gotta be honest. Yours is wildly good.
I know. It's so good.
Ours is good.
Yeah. Do you want to try it, Ben?
Yours is the. I know this is the wrong thing to say, and I know this is probably not.
Which one do you like better?
It's a toss-up. I mean, that's got great because it's clean. But I gotta say, I like this. That's good. That's really. You could sell that in a noodle shop
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the deal.
for sure. But this is
Right now, if you're a mother of three in Alabama or Mississippi,
yeah.
this is approachable. Your kids are gonna like this. Tell them it's spaghetti.
yeah.
Tell them it's hamburger helper, and then when they're done, go. I want to tell you boys something. You just ate a traditional Korean meal.
Yes.
Cooked by a white guy, learned from another white guy who married one.
That's really good.
okay.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's really
This
good.
this has the flavor of I want to say umami, but it's like it's the thing about Asian food that I absolutely love. It's like when Doritos came out with that sweet chili.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember Leanne and I were in Bali with the girls, and I saw it, and I'd had it before, but I hadn't seen it a lot. And I brought it upstairs, and I was like, girls, you're going to absolutely love this. And they're like, we don't like those Doritos. I said, you've never had these Doritos. And they go, yeah, but we don't like that color. And I go, you don't know what the color, God damn it. And then I said, just try one.
Yeah.
And they were so done with that so quickly, I had to go downstairs and get more.
So good.
God.
Noodles are cooked perfectly.
So when you left wrestling,
Yeah.
you
I didn't leave it though.
You didn't leave it?
I've been producing
Oh, really?
behind the scenes, yeah.
What?
So I've been in wrestling for 25 years. In the wrestling business.
Do you enjoy it?
I mean, if you don't enjoy it, you're not gonna last.
Dude, I gotta do it one more time. Isn't what I
you
did
mean
enough?
You mean like actually wrestle in the ring though?
Yeah.
I don't have a desire for that anymore. So I actually, which is most athletes that retire, you get that. I did get itches, but I'm 48 now, so I care
She looks
more
like
about my
28,
legacy and what I left behind my body of work. So I don't want to touch that. And now I just give back.
Your legacy's pretty sick.
I'm happy.
Your legacy's pretty sick, especially when you realize like you're the diva era.
Yes, I was in the diva.
That's like
I'm so
That's
fortunate.
like you gotta understand. That is, look. I'm never gonna proclaim to be some huge wrestling fan.
Yeah.
But if you're asking me with female wrestling, there's the '80s.
Yeah.
When the Moolah.
Yeah,
Fabulous
of course.
Moolah.
Yeah, Wendy Richter.
Yeah. And
yeah.
you have that era, and then but the diva era. And by the way, I know her name isn't Ione Sky. It's Io Sky.
Io Sky.
Io Sky.
Yeah.
I got, what's his name? One of the War Raiders.
Amazing.
Lost it.
Like,
I go, Ione Sky. I got to say this real quick to both the War Raiders who criticized me for calling her Ione Sky. Ione Sky is a famous actress. She was in Say Anything. She married one of the Beastie Boys. And so I just mixed up names. It's like Jack Nicholas and Jack Nicholson, okay? But like, she's fucking incredible right now.
Incredible.
She is incredible.
Incredible. I mean, their match at WrestleMania, the
Either
three
that
girls,
or she's
the best.
nearsighted.
What do you mean?
She's either a good wrestler or nearsighted. Because I think
She's a
she's
great
I think she's
wrestler.
hitting
She's-
people for real. Like I'm not I watched her head kick some lady the other day,
Yeah.
and I go, and you kicked her in the head. Like that's what thing Tom kept saying. He goes,
Yeah.
he kicked him in the head. Chad Gable got kicked in the head by, I forget who.
Yeah.
And he started bleeding, and Tom goes, he got really kicked in the head.
Yeah.
And I went, yeah, Tom.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, he's bleeding, Bert. And I was like, yeah,
So I
Lean
think-
over here. Good.
I think that people think
cooking, man. You're
because
cooking.
it's
I get it.
predetermined, they think it's fake. That's what they call it. I retired because I have no disc left in my L4, L5. So that's what made me, I couldn't walk after matches. So physically, very real. And of course, it's, I mean,
I watched her go through tables
Yes.
at 28
No,
feet.
I've never been through a table.
Well, through 28 feet, 28
A
feet
cage,
off a
a
cage.
steel cage, yes.
Right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, how do you do that? I would literally
Yeah.
turn away. I'm like, oh my God, that's going to hurt.
Is it weird? This is a weird question. So like, I'm gonna try to phase it the right way.
Okay.
So when I'm with Leanne, people recognize me and they're like, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
Bert," and then they go, "Oh, Leanne, I love you too," and then
Yeah.
they go back to me.
Yeah.
You have as legendary of a career, if not.
Depends where we're at.
no, but-
Robert's more global. And I'll say if we're in New York, because New York has a great density of wrestling fans,
Yeah.
then I'll maybe, and we'll go to his signings and when, some of his fans. We'll do appearances, both of us separately.
Yeah.
And they always ask for Robert. And then some people will always ask for me.
Not some, a lot of people, yeah.
Well, it just
Yeah.
kind of, we have very different fan bases, I'll say that.
Yeah.
He used to say when we started dating, he said, your fans are freaking weird and like crazy
understand,
and
yeah.
so hardcore. And I
They
said,
send you
yes, they're
pictures,
very
like,
loyal.
dressed, like they paint pictures and
Stop.
draw pictures.
We'll talk about that.
And just,
Rachel,
like-
another tequila, please. I'll take one too.
dude, it's just ridiculous. I'm like,
They're very
so
hardcore.
I'm doing a restaurant impossible in Alabama.
Yeah.
This guy shows up, he's 63 years old, and he says, I'm such a huge fan of Gail. I said, well, so am I, that's awesome. And then he proceeds to tell me and show me pictures of this room with mannequins and pictures of her gear on these mannequins. And I'm like,
Hey, listen.
What
that's
a great
sports, that's
time.
sports. There's a guy in Indiana with Caitlin Clark in a basement. Also,
yes.
that is fandom though. They do it to Brett
It is,
Favre.
yes.
They do it to the greats.
Yeah.
And it is true.
Like, she is a
there's-
great.
No, I'm being. It's understated.
happy. I'm very happy.
I mean this for real. It's understated in probably the coolest way possible because you married such a legend.
Yeah.
It's probably nice to be like.
You know
I don't
what
have to-
you know what I love, Brad? This is something true. Like, I go with her. We used to go, before I was doing restaurant posts, dinner posts, I would go on Gail's loops on the local
For live shows.
Live
Yeah,
shows.
where they're not televised,
And I
just for
loved
the
it
crowd.
because it's little kids and little people and doing all these things, and yes, I will. And I would love the loop. I got 2 tickets on one road at this on one weekend, right? And I pulled to go, and the guy said, "Oh, Robert Irvine, oh my God!" Still give me a ticket. And then I got another couple of miles. I got another ticket because I was taking her to a
Oh,
match.
yeah.
Yeah.
Speeding ticket.
Speeding
yes,
ticket.
Yes. He drove, yes.
And they're like, "Well, we don't care, Robert Irvine. Look, can I take a picture with you, the police officer? But I'm giving you a ticket anyway,
Yeah.
twice in the same
Yeah.
road." I used to love those things because what Gail was touching is young kids that are not full of money. And I grew up with no money. I grew up in that world, right?
Yeah.
So I know what poor is. I know when you're hungry. And then you get a T-shirt and a Coke and a hot dog, and you watch wrestling. All of a sudden, you're like, my
Robert-
life's made.
Yeah, Robert used to say, he's like, wow, because he wasn't a fan of wrestling when we started dating. And he came on the shows and he said, wow, you really get a lot of entertainment value for the price of a ticket. You watch like 8 matches, they interact with you. It's just a spectacle. And yeah, you really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I
think, pro
appreciated the
wrestling.
fan interaction
Yeah.
of these kids that don't have much, but they have heroes, right? We all have heroes. And I remember doing a golf tournament in LA with some big name people and whatever. And the kids were waiting, 5-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old kids waiting to sign, and they wouldn't sign it. I'm like, hey guys, why are you not signing these autographs? And then I understood, well, they sell them, and I totally understand that. But I would sign like 500 8x10s and give them away.
Yeah.
And, Darius Rucker and all these other guys would sign. And I totally understand now, because I didn't at that point,
I get
why
it.
they do it.
Yeah.
But
They have
when
little
you
trading
meet-
cards for me, and I tell them, how much are you hoping to get for these? And the guy will be like, I don't know, like $50 every one. I go, I'll give you $500 for the board right now. I'm like, oh yeah, here. And then I go, because it's a little bit like Bitcoin. It's like, you own, like one day I'm gonna die, so I'll just leave my kids all these trading cards.
Yeah.
Well, you want to, you know what they say, don't ever meet your idol because you might, absolutely, come on.
Sure.
If you're drinking, I'm drinking. If you meet your idol, you want them to be the way you picture them, not, right? And it's hard
Not
to
always going to
find
work
that.
out that way, though. Unfortunately.
I had some girls, 4 girls that we took care of that were stage 4 cancer leukemia. 2 of them passed away. But I used to take them, literally, I'd carry them to the truck while we do an RI, and I'd make sure that people knew and everything. You know, they're lifelong things for me personally and the family. But when you meet your idol, you want to know that, you know, Bert was fucking amazing because he cooked for us and he's real and he drinks and he's. And by the way, I'm so glad you didn't take your shirt off. But yes. But I just think reality is when you're real with people and you take life experiences, and that's what you are so amazing at. It's taking life experiences and making them funny.
You know, I have that's taking life experiences and making them funny is I really honestly, and I think I said this, I don't know if I told you guys, but so yesterday, 2 wild things happened to me yesterday. I sat next to Angela Basset on the flight home.
Oh.
Well, what's even amazing about that is I got recognized probably 30 times before while people were boarding. I didn't realize that they were looking at Angela Bassett and happened to see me. And Angela Bassett's such an OG.
Yeah.
She had her head down, glasses on, earphones on. And so they go, oh shit, it's Bert Kreischer. And then I was like, your boy's blowing up today. And then I swear to God, I went, hi, I'm Bert. And she goes, I'm Angela. And I went, cool. And I was like, where are you coming in from? She's like, Cons. I go, what are we doing out there? She goes, Mission Impossible. I go, have you seen it? She goes, I'm in it. And I went, I'm so sorry. I'm in my ego right now. I can't even address your ego. The best thing that happened to me, and I gotta figure out this as a bit.
Yeah.
It is so funny. I woke up yesterday in Tampa to a Puerto Rican security guard in my room screaming, sir, sir, sir. And I woke up, I go, what the f***? And he goes, sir, you've been found unresponsive. And I was like, what? He goes, the maid came in, she tried to clean your room.
They did a wellness check.
And you're just unresponsive. And I go, I'm fine. And he goes, I know, but we couldn't get you to wake up. I go, but I'm awake now. I was just sleeping. And he goes, are you okay? And I was like, I'm not on drugs if that's what you're asking. I go, look at me. And he goes, fine. And he walks out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I get really angry that that's the way I woke up. Because I had booked the hotel late so I could sleep up until my flight. Because I just came from Hawaii.
Yeah.
And I was like, in Tampa, the time zone change is crazy.
Yeah.
So I go down to the front desk. And as I'm walking the front desk, this bellman comes. He's like, Bert, love you, brother. And I was like, oh, thanks. And then I go to the front desk. I go, I got to get this off my chest. I go, I don't know how to address this. As he's saying this, another bellman comes up and goes, Bert, man, love to see you, brother. And I was like, thank you. And I go, I got woken up by a security guard yelling at me today. And the guy leans in and he goes, man, we thought you were dead. I go, what? And he goes, word got out in the hotel that you had died in our hotel. You're from Tampa. You're like Tampa's hometown boy. And you died in our hotel. Everyone thought you were dead. And then another security guard comes up and goes, it's so good to see you, man. And I'm like, oh, everyone thought I was dead. No one, and I called my mom, and my mom said, the best line I've ever heard, honey, no one gets to feel like Jesus on Easter. I walked through, I went to get coffees, and they're like, Bert, it's so good to see you, man. I was like, hey guys, they're like, can we get you coffee? I go, yeah. And they go, it's free. Anything you want, man, anything you want. Everyone thought I was dead. And as I walked through, we were leaving, all of the bellman hugged me. And I was like, holy shit, this was the wildest. But you know what's so funny? When you said that, I went, there's 2 people that see the world, right? There's a guy who finds the comedy in it, and then there's a guy who's a Karen who goes out and complains.
Yeah.
There was an ethnic guy in my room yelling at me, and I use it because it was crazy. And I was like, whoa, is that what it's gonna be like? That was like wild. I mean, the guy was like in a suit, he's sweating, he's been yelling for a while. By the way, I was listening to a podcast about Fidel Castro, which,
Oh my God.
yeah, I'm fascinated by Fidel Castro. But what restaurants what big chains shock you that they're still around? Like what big chains, my favorite big chain, let's take a big chain and just break it down and what you like about it and what you think they could do better.
So who's your best?
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Okay, so I know a lot of friends that own big Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
Not a bad project, not a bad scenario, but I don't feel they've got the customer thought process. Fridays, Applebee's, and I loved Applebee's, by the way, and I'll tell you why, and Waffle House, right? And people look at me like, you like Waffle House? I'm like, yeah, I love it.
Waffle.
Why? Because I can see the dude cooking it.
Yes.
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 More than anything, yeah.
So Waffle House. So then TGA Fridays. We went to a TGA Fridays. I'm going to tell that story.
Yeah.
In Tampa. I'm on Food Network.
Where we at, Dale Mabry?
No, Hillsborough.
Hillsborough.
Okay. Oh, I know that TJ.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
keep
So
going.
we're eating.
By the way, I love Tampa.
Right. So you got, dude, come and stay at my house.
Yeah.
So we're eating there. We finish the meal. I just started on Food Network by maybe a year.
You're on it for a while.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I always say we got to tip more because they know, right? You got to do the right thing. So we did the right thing.
Can you please share that with my wife? Because I always say, baby, they know who I am.
Yeah.
Just give them $100. I don't give a give them $100. She goes, it's aggressive. She goes, listen, 30% tip's a good tip. And I go, she goes, I was a waitress.
Yes.
You give him, Bert, you're gonna look like an asshole. And I was like, I always make her give $100.
So Rachel Ray became front page news because she tipped $1 for bad service. And by the way, that's okay, but it's Rachel Ray. You can't do that when you have a national platform.
By the way, the maid that sent the security guard to my room to wake me up, I still tipped her $100.
So we do that. So Gail tip. Gail tip. By the way, there was no happy ending. I mean, tequila.
Yes, hey, we need one more tequila. Keep going. So wait, keep going. Applebee's.
Fridays.
So we eat this. I had ribs and she had something, whatever.
Whatever. Yeah.
She pays a check. She gives 20%, and the girl goes.
But the girl was bad service.
The
First of all,
girl
and I
goes
said, okay,
online.
we'll give it.
She was a shitty service.
She went on
goes online.
Twitter.
She went outside. Oh, Robert Irvine left me zero tip.
Oh, I got.
So I'm like, you know what? Okay, don't worry.
No,
about it.
I got pissed.
She's.
I
now,
went online.
Yeah.
This was my vocal days, and I was like, tip reflects service, and we tipped you 20%, and it was bad service.
So she went. She called the manager. And said, hey, dude, I didn't check the check.
I don't know. Did I call them?
You did call
Oh,
them,
well,
yeah.
anyway, she got in trouble or fired or something like
They
that.
fired her. But you have to be so careful of that when you're, it's just a weird situation when, and by the way.
Most people treat us very, very well because of, obviously, they see Robert and they.
Well, I mean, imagine a
Yeah.
restaurant.
Yeah.
If they see, if you go to a restaurant,
Yeah.
if you're at a restaurant and there's a server that doesn't know you. I mean, you understand. You were
I never have that.
You were.
And I don't mean that in any go way.
No,
it's
you
a
do
pain
have
in the
it.
ass because when you go in there, what they do, it's not just going to seat you. Now they have to make sure the tables, cutleries, that they do all this stuff. And I'm like, look, I just come for dinner. Then they send out. They let me order. We order.
Yeah.
And then they'll send out 16 things. Now I don't want what I ordered.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude.
I went to dinner with Adam Richman from Man vs. Food
Yeah,
one time.
yeah. Adam's a good friend of ours.
And he goes, I said, what are you gonna get? And he goes, I wouldn't eat. And I said, what? And he goes, they're gonna send out food. And I went, what do you mean? And then they go, Adam, we're bringing out the fried olive challenge. And it was like 1,000 fried olives. And I was like, what the?
Yeah.
And he was like,
it's ridiculous. And we have that all the time. And it's the same thing. We went to dinner last night at
I'll say, though, people do get nervous serving him. So I'd say 50% of the time they mess it up because they're so nervous.
Yeah.
And then they get us right, and then he gets upset.
Just give me what you're known for. And then somebody comes like, oh my God, Robert Irvine, right? And just like you. And then they'll like, then you realize Gail's my wife. And by the way, the biggest piss off for you is when they come afterwards.
What do you mean?
Like they talk to me and then they realize who you are and they come and say, hey.
No, it's not that. Sorry, it's different, and I'm sure your wife may experience this. That they treat you differently after they realize, oh, that's your wife. Do they treat your wife differently after they know?
You mean
Come
like
on.
when they go give my wife the phone, though? Hey, can you take this picture?
Yes.
And then
Yes.
Leanne's like, yeah, sure.
Oh my God. So I
My
mean-
daughters
Oh.
take pictures of themselves and
Oh,
not
yes,
them.
yes,
And they
yes,
go,
yes.
yeah, sure thing. And they go, can you take this picture? And my daughter goes, who is he? And I'm like, Isla. Georgia is the worst.
Yeah.
They'll take pictures of themselves
Yeah.
over and over and over, and then they'll get one with the guy's head cropped out of it, and then go, here you go. Come on, Dad, let's leave. Like, yeah, my daughters are not
We
fans.
learned how to cope. I can predict it coming. So then, and then now it's selfie era. So Robert got good with it. He's like, that's my wife, not my photographer. So, people they get excited when they see you guys. And
But we never finished Buffalo Wild Wings.
oh, yeah.
Wait, I wanna hang on.
Wild Wings.
I have two questions and I'll let you guys go. But Buffalo Wild Wings. So what you said, you have friends at Buffalo Wild Wings. You love the Chili's. Bennigan's was our thing back in the day. I
Yeah,
remember
oh,
that.
breakfast.
my
Breakfast
gosh,
place.
oh my gosh.
My favorite Bennigan's story. I just was with people in Tampa. We were driving down to Mabry, and I pointed out.
But we're your people in Tampa.
Yes.
Just saying. Okay.
Now.
And I said that is where it was very morose for me because not
What does that mean? It's a big word.
You know. Just because I don't know your words. I was very saddened because these places when I grew up in North Florida, North Tampa, over by Bears in Faircloth Estates is where I grew up. Carrollwood was just blowing up, and it was just blowing up. It was crazy. All these new things. We got a scuba shop. We had 2 scuba shops in Carrollwood, and we were like, whoa. I mean, you go have dinner and then walk to a scuba shop and dream about scuba diving. That was life. That was how you saw the world, is like through these new shops that popped up. I remember when gummy bears showed up. I remember when gummy worms showed up. And
Do you remember that?
Not when they came up, but I remember eating them, yes.
you remember the first time you
Yes.
had a gummy bear?
No, I don't.
I do. I do because I was that generation. And I drove through Carrollwood and nothing had changed and everything had just aged. And not the greatest stores, a lot of vape stores
Yes,
around. And I was
very
just
much
like,
so.
ugh. I was like, this bums. And then there's this place and I go, that was the first Bennigan's. I had such great memories.
He doesn't. Do you know Bennigan's?
I do. I
It's
used
like-
to, when I came to Florida, I used to eat, in Orlando, I used to eat breakfast there.
Wait, did
all
they have
the
breakfast
time.
there? Or something
Yeah,
like that?
they had, that was the first place I saw fajitas.
But yeah,
Let me tell you
Bennigan's was
something.
the spot for wrestlers.
I'm guessing I'm 10
that
years
was a
old.
long time ago. Jeez.
Oh, a long
It's
time.
in 1981.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting at a Bennigan's. I'm with my uncles, my dad, my sister. My other sister wasn't born yet. My mom, big table, and fajitas walk by. Now, my personality, I'm a fajitas guy. Sizzling, the sound,
Us
the
too.
pop.
Us
And I
too.
do this. I'm like, oh, and I hear my dad go, you can forget about it. And I go, what? And he goes, that's going to be a goddamn nightmare. We're going to burn each other. We're going to get on fire. You're getting a burger. That's it. And I was like, I'm a fajitas guy. And that explains me and my dad's relationship
That's
to a
us.
T.
What do I like about fajitas?
What? I don't even know.
Who eats fajitas?
You do.
And how do I have them?
Just with onions and meat, and that's it. Onions and meat.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to take you one further. Molcajetes are my thing. You get me a
that?
molcajete, it comes in the molcajete, and they put all the meat inside
Say
it,
that,
and they
yeah.
drape it, and they put a stick of cheese and a jalapeno and some onions.
I'm good. I'm good without the jalapeno, but
Yeah. Okay,
I love it. I
let's,
love it.
wait, hold on. Okay, back to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Buffalo Wild Wings was. What was the question? What was the question?
I loved their
The chains.
concept.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
concept of Buffalo Wild Wings.
Okay.
I love the concept. I love that they have UFC for free
Yeah.
on Saturdays.
Yeah.
I love
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm being very real right now. I'm not in love with the Utah Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
They're a little.
What is that?
In Utah, the Buffalo Wild Wings.
Why? What's wrong
There's
with them?
rules in Utah that I'm not adjacent with. Can't take your shirt off. Can't stand and drink. Like there's just like Utah's a little strict. I got kicked out of 4 Buffalo Wild Wings
Yeah.
in Utah.
Because you didn't have 3 wives.
Yeah, buddy. Let's not get started on
Buffalo Wild.
Utah Buffalo Wild Wings.
Wait.
But I love that the fact that they have a Buffalo Wild Wings challenge. It makes it an event for a family.
Yeah.
You know, like on a Saturday night. I love that they have a big array of wings, and I like that they're culturally appropriating some, and they're doing the original ones. I like that you can also not get wings. I love that there's a bar and then there's a restaurant.
Yes.
I love that there's TVs everywhere. I love the energy of a Buffalo Wild Wings. Now, I'm a Hooters guy because I grew up in Florida.
Robert?
So I met the owner of Hooters. Fell
Okay,
in
I'm
love
just letting you
with
know
it.
right now. I don't know what's
Fell in
going on
love
financially.
with it.
How are they doing financially right now?
Are they going under?
No.
No, okay.
They were never going to. He sold a piece of it, but Hooters, and I'm on the road 345 days a year. We go to Holiday Inns, we stay and we do the shows, and there's always a Hooters somewhere, right? So you always go, you eat the wings. Hooters has changed over the years because then they went into, what's the other one with the Scottish skirts?
Tilted Kilt.
Tilted Kilt, right?
And there's also Tilted Kilt, Hooters, and what's the other one?
Badges.
No!
Hey, we'll go into business on that one. I
Wait,
will do
what's
that
the
with
other
you. I will do that with
Badges,
you.
and we just do hot dogs, tacos. And,
I guess Wing House. No, Wing House.
Tuna.
No, I don't even.
no,
So-
Tilted Kilt, I showed up at, and I was like, cool. I was younger then, so I could get it.
Yeah.
And now as an adult, like I'm like, I need an older. I don't know.
So we would do
Hooters, they need
it.
to change the uniforms.
Yeah,
They
we
go
would do
less
this.
clothes.
We would do this thing in
Updated.
San Diego Naval Medical
No?
Center.
no.
You like the old
no,
school
Okay,
look?
okay. If I'm
The pantyhose that are like very.
I'm gonna. If I'm. I hope this video. Who owns Hooters now? Who owns Hooters now? Everyone's got a computer in front of them. I know. I'm just wondering. I wouldn't
like the
mind. I wouldn't mind
yeah.
MILFs. And it's just older hot
You
chicks.
just came up with a new concept.
And
right
it's
there.
like sloppy.
by the way-
Like, hey, listen, that's actually not a bad idea.
Yes.
MILFs, and you do milk and cookies. They do mom meals. They do mom
Yes,
meals.
yes.
Where you're like, they're like,
I'm in for $2 million.
oh my God. But I'll tell you, the thing I want about Hooters, if I was going to
Yeah.
rebrand it, this is what I would do. Outfits, I jazz them up a bit on the inseams.
Okay.
Jazz them up a bit. Okay,
A little-
skinny them up here.
I don't like the pantyhose.
Does not lead. Can
I
I?
don't like
Can I
the
just say?
Okay.
I mean this respectfully.
Yeah.
I would put them in outfits you wore to wrestle.
Okay.
Okay,
That's classy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
you know,
classy. That's
the
classy,
girls
but
wear
classy
more
but sexy.
sheer
And
or
you- no.
fishnet that is clear.
Yes,
so
yes.
it holds
The
it all
fucking
together.
stocking is gross.
Yes, I
like
agree.
put in fishnet.
yes.
Put in like an orange fishnet. There is a sexiness to Hooters
Yes.
that gives you a vibe of when what I mean. This sounds crazy, but like when America was thriving. In like those early 80s when Dan Marino was throwing touchdowns and he was sitting at a Hooters with a half-top shirt and short shorts like going, ladies, no one wears condoms. You know, like that kind of energy.
Nobody wears condoms.
Love Hooters. Who owns Hooters?
The CEO?
Yeah.
Sal Malili.
Sal
He
Malulu.
changed, yeah.
Wait,
It's-
wait, wait,
yeah,
what is that?
It's somebody took over from Hooters. It's not the original guy.
Oh, some Yo, Sal.
Yeah.
They just need a woman to redesign
Yes.
the outfits. So
Or a Nazi. Have you ever seen the Hugo Boss outfits?
no,
You know, Hugo Boss designed
Yeah.
all the Nazi outfits. I mean,
no,
you didn't know that?
no.
Oh yeah, he designed all. That's why the Nazis looked. That's why that look is like so
Oh, my God.
memorable.
Okay.
Hugo Boss. You didn't. That is right, right? Yeah, Hugo Boss
Yeah,
designed all the
he's-
Nazi
Especially
outfits.
with Volkswagen
Yeah.
made all the Jeeps, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
By
yeah.
the way, the money they made, and they're still making money. But anyway, you know,
But I'm telling you, okay.
I like
Me- me and you-
I
me and
like
you.
the vibe of Hooters.
Let's me, you, and Guy
No,
right now. Let's
MILFs.
me, you, and Guy. Let's buy a franchise right now.
FaceTime him.
Yes.
Or I'll FaceTime him. You FaceTime him. He'll probably answer you. He won't answer me, but
He'll answer you.
He will answer both of you.
Buddy, hold on.
There are
dude, I just text you and you didn't answer mine, but you answer him.
I had to go in order.
I told you you're my brother, dude. Look, there's Gail.
Your brother, trust me, you were getting it. Oh, hi, gorgeous.
Hi.
What, I don't know what she is doing in the room with you two.
Buddy,
Well,
we're
we-
cooking. We made ramen for white people.
And by the way, we're
Ramen.
drinking tequila.
Oh, God, is it this time? Is it this time of day already?
Yes.
It is.
So
it is. Hey, listen, me, you, and Robert are going to buy out Hooters and revamp it and redo it. You got me?
You know, do you understand something? We could, and we just change it to Cooters.
Hooters.
We were going to call it Badges, but that's so much better.
We only have to change one one letter on the sign.
And we'll make it look like it's a Chinese restaurant where it's clicking in and out. Hooters, 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 Hooters.
No, we just take the one and we change it in the wrong font and everything. It says Hooters, and then we just put up a random C. Like an English fonted C.
Yes, English.
I love this. I love
English.
this. Gail's in to design the costumes.
I'm going to design the sexy costumes.
Hang on, I'm not done giving you shit, Kreischer. How do I can't get you to return my text. Like you call me when you're with Irvine.
Like, I return every one of your texts.
Yeah, and by the way, you never return mine, so what the He's drinking something. Water.
Water.
It's water. He's working.
What are you guys doing?
We're wrapping up an episode of Something's Burning.
Oh God, isn't that a blast?
Yeah, we honestly went through a bottle of tequila, and then they had to go to the store and get another bottle of tequila. We made ramen. We've been on for I think 2 hours. It's been amazing, man.
He is such a gem. He's one of the greatest guys. I was kind of his best man in his wedding.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the whole. You guys should have talked. Hey, if you would have told me, Bert, you were getting ready to talk to him, I could have given you some real good shit.
I almost texted you this morning, but I was like, I almost texted you.
Bert, I would have given you some zingers that you could have gone. Is it or is it not true that Guy Fieri was riding a jet ski with you in Florida one time and hit a sandbar at about 40 and flew over the handlebars and landed 30 feet away from his jet ski?
That's very
True
true.
or not true?
That's
Wait,
apparently
you
very
flew
true.
or he flew?
He did.
Oh, okay.
Fuck, it was me.
Hey,
I've never been
he
out in
did.
the bay like that, riding a jet ski. I know.
Dude,
I'm
it was
fucking airborne. I'm
Yeah.
off the jet ski
it
flying.
was like Even Knievel Mark II. Right, so we're taking over Hooters. Stop. Talk. We're taking over
Take it
Hooters.
over Hooters. All right, I'll call you later. We're ending up catching up on an episode. I love you, brother.
Oh shit, okay.
I love you, brother.
Love you.
Oh,
Is he calling back?
no. You're dialing.
Calling Stacy.
Oh, you are.
Yeah. Can you just hang up on me?
And Leanne.
But here's the thing. It's look, what you do and what we as cooks, and you're doing it right now, right?
Yeah.
It's not rocket science. It's common sense shit. But it's having fun while you do it.
Men, it's having fun while you do it. That's what the thing about you that's beautiful. And I'm talking 26 episodes of Restaurant Impossible.
That's,
so
by
much,
the way, 360, but 26 is good.
26 seasons.
That was good.
Tequila.
That was good. That was good. No, I'm
We're 2
okay.
bottles in.
I just have to correct you a little bit.
Yeah.
Just like the eggs, which were perfect,
They
by
were
the way.
perfect, yes.
60. 360.
I'm a bitch.
I would make. That's just like. But what's beautiful about you is you have always been true to who you are and with who you spoke to, and you're pretty honest about where your heart is. You don't veer far from your heart. And even in these conversations, when you share a secret, and you go, I don't care.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I love about people. One of my first specials is called Secret Time because I love sharing secrets because I know when you're my friend and when you share a secret. Yeah. And that's the thing I love about podcasting. I get lit up for it a little bit, but I share secrets and I go, this is how that happened. And I think that's so important. And man,
I can do that because Gail. When Gail came into my life, I was kind of a lost. I'd made it, quote unquote. I got the TV show, got the car. I was bigger than life, louder than life. All bullshit, by the way. And she was the one that grounded me to be the person that I am today.
Well, it just felt like at moments he felt like he had to be more than what he really was. And I was like, you are great just as you are. Yeah. You don't have to put on any extra, layers here. Everyone loves you and they see what you do. And that's all you need to do.
That's the maturity of life, right?
Yeah.
You grow up and you meet people. And Guy, when I met Guy, he was not even a network. I was on the network with Emerald. I did Emerald's last episode. He didn't know it. I didn't know it. I was a new guy. And then we ended up doing this thing. I met Guy. We became instant friends, and here he is, this superstar guy, and we were at his ranch and doing these things, and there is a levity there, right? When you're in the real world, you have to be on all the time.
Yeah.
When you go to your own personal space, we can do whatever you want because there's none of this, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's important. I used to love the adoration that I loved it. I'm like, oh yeah, you walk in, you feel good.
Yeah.
Still love it.
But now,
Yeah.
but I'm not, I love it, but I don't love it as much as I used to. I'm like, oh, let's just have dinner together.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I think that's the growth in celebrity, for lack of better words, is like, I still like it. I still like getting recognized. I still like when people give me love, and I'm ready to be where Rogan is, where he doesn't like it, or like my buddy Tom Segura was got more successful than I did earlier, and he hates it. He hates getting recognized, and I'm waiting for it, but it just hadn't happened.
Because of
And
privacy?
I guess, I don't know. I just it never was me. And it hasn't been me yet. So I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting to be like annoyed by it, but I'm not annoyed by it.
I don't think you're annoyed by it, because when kids come up to you, and it's mainly kids for me, they come in the airport and they're like, and the parents don't even have a clue who I am, and that's Robert Irvine from Food Network. And they're like, who? What? Who's that guy? And the kids come, and we've done Invictus Games, we sponsor Invictus Games and military games. The military is a big part of my life. It always will
It's who
be.
you were. It's who defined you.
Yeah.
It's how we got you.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you. I suck at interviewing people. I really do. The one question I wanted to ask was like, how did we get Robert Irvine? That was my question. It's like, how did we get him? That was my thing. And I think we got it in that you talking about how you got from point A to point B, and the military was a huge part of it.
Yeah.
But also marrying the person, and you have.
He's getting from
I'm not. I'm not changing that, because that's a big deal of me. Is marrying somebody you love that holds you accountable when you go off on that tangent of fame.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And your wife does the same thing. She's like, "Hey, come here. You're just a dude, and you have all this thing over there." And we go into public, like, people will say to me, "Oh, you're Gail Kim's husband," and I'm like, "Yep, I am.
Only wrestling fans. Yes,
I am.
yes,
I'm
yes.
Gail Kim's husband," and that's it. So we book my hotel rooms under.
Oh, now you
Oh my
just told
God.
the secret.
And by the way, I'll tell my secret.
I did.
We
I
booked
just told the secret.
my hotel room.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just,
Okay.
Leanne books them all over their. And so everything.
so we
You guys both told your secret too.
we book into this hotel. We get in the room in the elevator, and this girl says, "Oh my God, you're Robert Irvine." So we get to our room, and there's a phone rings, and it's somebody wants to talk to Robert Irvine. I'm like, "Hello, I just met you in the elevator." I'm like, "Yeah, bye."
There's a line, right? That you should just respect the privacy at some point. But
I've never found
But
it.
And by the way,
I get
I'm a
it. People
nobody.
get
I make
excited.
eggs.
People get excited.
Perfect
I'm a
eggs.
nobody, I know.
Perfect eggs, by the way.
They don't
Perfect
look at
eggs.
yeah, but they don't look at it that way. They just get excited.
No.
It's my one chance to get my picture or get an autograph or say whatever. So yeah. It's,
By the way, no chance of sex. I got the best sex symbol right here.
That's a perfect way to
that's
end this
real.
episode.
That's rich.
Guys,
Cheers to that.
This has been, hey, and I got to say this. It's been a dream episode. I killed it on the recipe. This is amazing conversation.
Sure.
And never do we sit for an hour and a half after the eating and talk. This has been dream. Thank you so much.
was-
Well,
Great,
thank
too.
you. Thank you. The food was amazing. But just remember this. I'm going to give you one piece of advice.
Love it.
Keep doing what you're doing, because you're changing lives. You don't think it, but you are.
yeah, making a difference for sure.
Making a difference.
And that's how you swallow tequila.
Here's to Something's Burning.
Great episode.
Something's burning.
This episode was brought to you by The Machine.